All right, here you go. Here's an example of a three-variable system. The trick with these problems is you have to stay organized, okay? So when you're given your three equations, just go ahead and number them 1, 2, and 3. That way we can always go back and reference them. With three variables, the trick is I want to get down to one equation with one variable, okay? So I need to combine a couple of my equations and eliminate one of these variables to start off with, okay? There are some helpful tips as far as like what you should go for. I usually try and go for the easiest variable I can eliminate, and the first thing I notice is that all the y's have the same number. That may not always happen. You might have to multiply by some things, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to combine 1 and 3 in this case. I'm going to combine these two. So if I do negative x minus 5y plus z equals 17, and I do 2x plus 5y minus 3z equals negative 10, okay? You'll notice I did this. I don't have to multiply by anything. You could if you wanted. You could multiply the first equation by 2 and then cancel out the x's if you wanted. But you certainly don't have to do that. Choose the easiest option you can. So when I add these together now, negative x plus 2x is just x. The y's are going to cancel. Plus z minus 3z is negative 2z, and then 17 minus 10 is 7. This is now equation 4, and you notice it has x's and z's only. Okay? I'm also, this time, instead of doing 1 and 3, I'm actually going to do now 2 and 3. Okay? So if I do 2 and 3 together, I get this. Negative 5x minus 5y plus 5z equals 5. And then 2x plus 5y minus 3z equals negative 10. Once again, I don't have to multiply by anything, but whatever I do, I want to eliminate the same variable that I did before. So I want to eliminate the y's, and you'll notice these are nicely going to cancel out. I get negative 3x plus 2z equals negative 5. Oh, this is going to work out beautifully. This is equation 5. Again, notice, both of my equations here, 4 and 5, both have the same letters remaining. That's what I want to happen. So now, when I combine 4 and 5, I get this. Now, again, this won't always happen. Okay, this one's kind of been really nice as far as numbers canceling out so easily. This won't always happen. You might have to multiply one or both of these equations by some number, but the idea here is you want these numbers in front of one of your variables to be the same number but opposite signs. So like I've got a negative 2 and a positive 2. Those are going to cancel when I add them together, okay? So I add them together. I get negative 2x equals 2. And now I've got an equation solely in one variable, x in this case. X ends up being negative 1. So there's part of my answer, okay? Now you just work your way back up. You can take this into either one of these two equations. It does not matter which one. I'm going to go with the easier of the two, and I'm actually going to choose the number 4. So if I go into equation 4, we know that this is true, right? X minus 2z equals 7. But instead of x, I'm going to write negative 1. And then now you can solve for z. Add 1 over, you get negative 2z equals 8. And you get z equals negative 4. So we are almost home. Now, you are going to take both of these and plug it into one of these equations up here, one of your original equations, because now you have x and z, you can easily solve for y. Not really a good choice here, so I'm just going to pick equation 3, just because, why not? It doesn't really matter which equation, they should all work. So let's see, x was negative 1. I don't know y yet, try and find it. Z is negative 4. And then you just solve for y now. So I get negative 2 plus 5y plus 12 equals negative 10. Combine like terms here, you get 5y plus 10 equals negative 10. Subtract 10 over, you get 5y equals negative 20. Y ends up being negative 4. So, and again, this sort of depends on how your teacher wants you to write the answer. Normally, I write these as ordered triples, x, y, z. So this would be negative 1, negative 4, negative 4. That would be your answer. I hope that helps. I know it wasn't a good example necessarily of like multiplying through the equation. But you could certainly try solving this a different way and try like multiplying by 2 to cancel out the x's or something like that. But feel free, you should get the same answer every time. I hope that helps.